Hello students, welcome back to my channel Lightup Knowledge and very warm welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will study about apostrophe, which is a literary term. Before moving on further, I would like to say that this topic is very important from the perspective of NET UGC English exam and GATE entrance exam. We'll be covering this topic from the very basic, like its meaning, associated glossaries, and the examples which will be drawn from the most celebrated authors of English literature. So it is a request to my students to watch this video completely, as a part miss can cause an incomplete understanding. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let us now understand what does apostrophe mean in the context of literature. An apostrophe is direct and explicit address either to absent person or non-human entity. Okay, so it is an address, it is an association to a non-human, or it is an address to an absent person directly or explicitly. Explicitly means very clearly, therefore leaving no room for doubt. So it is a literary device in which we associate to an absent person or a non-human category, and the way with which we use this technique to address is very direct, clear, and therefore we leave no room for doubt. So basically here it is clear that basically here we are addressing in oral or written form. To whom are we addressing? To absent person or to non-human entity. If you look at an example here, "O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?" So basically here Juliet is addressing, and this is an example where Juliet believes that she's alone, and she addresses Romeo thinking that he is absent. Okay, so basically this is considered as an example of apostrophe, because she is calling someone who is at the moment not present with him. So therefore we address in apostrophe. Whom do we address? By using apostrophe, which is a literary term where we address directly and explicitly. Whom are we approaching? Okay, whom are we addressing? So we are addressing these following categories that is mentioned here. So therefore by using apostrophe, we address a thing, we can address a place, we can address an abstract quality. Okay, abstract quality like happiness, sadness, anxiety, intelligence, etc. An idea, we can also address an idea, and therefore we also address a dead or an absent person, a person who is not present at the moment, or a dead person. The next topic is, by using apostrophe, how do we address? Here it implies that what are the techniques which are used to address when we approach apostrophe as a written or oral form, right? We address as if that thing, that abstract quality, that idea, or that dead person is present and is capable of understanding. Okay, it is of, not if. So the purpose of our address is that we want to present something as if that category is present, like an abstract quality, idea, or dead person is present, and that abstract idea or whatever category that we have studied before, so that has the capability of understanding. Okay, so that's the way how we address it. Next is, what effect does an apostrophe produce? What is an effect? The first effect is, what is the target of the writer behind using apostrophe? First is, he tries to enlighten high formality. High formality is when the author wants to be detailed, precise, and have a structure in his writing. The next is sudden emotional impetus, when he gets a sudden encouragement resulting in an activity. After having been understood the theoretical portion of what apostrophe means, and how do we address it, to whom do we address it, and what effect does it produce. We will now look at some of the examples to broaden our approach in a study, so we can use and recognize that literary term immediately when we see it. And today we'll be discussing the examples of the most celebrated authors of English literature. So let's get started. And the first example is from Goldsmith, Deserted Village. Okay, where he is addressing Sweet Auburn, loveliest village of the plain. So here the author is addressing to a village, okay, Auburn. Okay, so basically here he talks about the decline of the village and the immigration of many residents of America. So in this example, a village is used as an agent of apostrophe. The next example is of Julius Caesar. Okay, the next example is of Julius Caesar, and it relates to Antony's dialogue, and that is basically Antony's cry, where he says, "O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beast." Okay, so here he is addressing, okay, so he is using an apostrophe and he is addressing to judgment. Okay, he is using judgment as an agent of apostrophe, and where he is trying to say that the natural order of the world has been turned upside down. Okay, and the next example is from William Wordsworth, sonnet, London 1812, where he is addressing to none other than Milton. So Milton, thou shouldst be living at this hour. So he wants Milton to be living at this hour. So therefore Wordsworth begins his sonnet when he praises the 17th century poet Milton and suggests that England would be a better place if it would be modeled after Milton, and values the era when Milton was born. And the next example is one of the most beautiful, and my favorite example is from P.B. Shelley's Ode to West Wind, where he is addressing the west wind and he is using an apostrophe. "O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being." So here what is he doing? He is addressing the west wind as wild and calling it that it is the breath of autumn. Okay, so in this poem, west wind is treated as powerful and a strong person, and it is compared to a magician whose presence makes the ghost run away and disappear. Okay, so that was all for the examples that we will discuss in this video, and that also is the end for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you found it useful. If you did, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press that bell icon so that you can get regular updates of my videos, and the link of the playlist Literary Forms and Movements will be given in the description box. Keep learning and keep growing.